Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. I am super hyped because I literally just finished casting the Antec Attack tournament live. It was awesome. It's on every Wednesday evening. That's Greenwich Mean Time, so check it out. It's awesome. Had a great time. So yeah, I am now doing a quick game between a player called Fuzzy. He is the yellow Zerg in the bottom left, and he is playing against the purple Protoss YaTa. Now YaTa, he has been making a bit of a splash because he took out some big name people. Destiny was one of them, a couple of others, can't recall off the top of my head, but basically what is interesting about him is that he is nearly deaf. And if you think about how much information you get through audio sources in StarCraft 2, nuke, Nidus, your base is under attack, build more supply depots, or whatever, that is a lot of stuff, which he can only pick up visually from obviously the bars on the side, the info tabs at the bottom, and obviously from the minimap. So he has to just check stuff so much more visually, it's insane. But that's beside the point. He's clearly a good player, and all for him. Anyway, what have we got? Daybreak is the map. Obviously there's these rocks in the middle which can be taken out. Obviously Fuzzy will want to take them out before YaTa, and that's purely because it gives him quicker reinforcements. It also just gives him more attack paths. Before they go though, it's quite a large rush distance. It is a tournament version of the map. I'm not quite sure where this game's from, which is a bit bad on my side, but again, there's so many little tournaments all around it's just a nightmare to try and find it. There goes a spawning pool down for Fuzzy. It was at 14, I believe. No, it would have been 15, I think. But beside the point, he's not going to be getting his hat down anytime soon because YaTa is doing the pylon block. So it may just be Fuzzy goes for this third. That's fine because a response to a fast expand out of a Protoss player is just to get 3 bases up super quick. Now, slightly unusually, YaTa's going for a gateway down here, so going to be putting on some early pressure, and I quite like that. I think it works well. But YaTa amazingly keeping that probe up, and meanwhile, what else have we got going down? Well, not too much. The spawning pool just finished up. We'll probably see a couple of Zerglings. There we go, 4 on the way to deal with this probe. The Queen is also on the way here, and this Overlord is going to see everything, and that really is key. It's going to see that Zealot getting chrono boosted out. Going to see that there is still no Nexus down. There's no complete wall off, and that is really a big tell. Now, this pylon up here is obviously essential because he can wall off if need be. Now we will see that he's nearly got enough for the Nexus, so that Nexus will probably go down any second. Go on, YaTa, there we go. So there goes down the Nexus. This pylon is gonna fall, and really that's just really massively delayed the natural base of Fuzzy. So essentially YaTa doesn't matter that he delayed that because he's also got a Zealot coming in. Here comes the Zealot marching his way across, and really what can you do? Well, it is possible to kill off a Zealot with 4 Zerglings. You just have to have crazy good micro. Not that crazy, you just have a really good micro. But will Fuzzy be able to pull it off? Only time will tell. But no, he won't because these Zerglings have been pulled back. But obviously, YaTa, he's going to start attacking that natural. And here comes the Zerglings, they're being pulled back. And a second Queen is in production, which is obviously essential. Drop a creep tumor, go down to inject out the natural as well. Meanwhile, we see this wall off finishing up here for YaTa. He's got that forge. And here we go, in comes the Zerglings. And well, we will see YaTa try to run that Zealot away. Goes into that point here just to get minimum surface area, but a surround does manage to get achieved, but the Zergling will die. Pulls that the Zealot will die. That Zergling pulled back just so it doesn't actually fall. What else have we got? We've got gas coming down there, so again, that's pretty standard. The third base just was taken a little while ago, so, well, about 20 seconds, so it's about just before the 5-minute mark that went down. Second Zealot in, and now, yeah, it's going to get taken down by these Zerglings, but ultimately, it's just forcing more to be made, which every 2 Zerglings made is 1 less drone. A complete wall off will come down here. This cybernetics core, it's all fairly standard on YaTa's side. He's got 2 gases down, nothing more to really say. This Zealot just poking, prodding, basically 2 queens out. The third queen is being built. There was a creep tumor, so creep spread's going to be going on its way. That 1 gas still mining. No sign of, well, it could be speed coming out first. We'll wait and see. Probably will be speed before lair. But again, it depends on scouting information. What has Fuzzy seen? Not much. He has just had a little poke around here. He knows 2 gases there. He doesn't know what's up here. The third gas just being taken now for YaTa. And, well, here comes some Zerglings. Are they going to be able to get in? No, there's a complete wall off. There's 2 Zealots there. It's fine. Third base just finished up here for Fuzzy. And well, what's he going to be able to do? He's going to be able to make lots and lots of drones. So far it is 36 drones to 34 probes, so they are still pretty even, but the longer this goes on, the further Fuzzy will get ahead, because obviously he's producing from 3 hatcheries, which is pretty easy to get a lot of drones awful quick. And we will see 2 gateways come in here for YaTa, and there goes a 3rd as well, so it's going to be 4 gates. Will there be any more added on? Only time will tell. Obviously you can put quite a lot of pressure on with 4 gates. There's no chrono boost going off there on the warp gate research. Now, this overlord is placed just to see if the 3rd base comes down, and really what else is coming out? Well, not very much. For Fuzzy, on the other hand, well, there's the Roach one and Evolution Chamber, got at the same time. Always do that. The Roach one is for the ground army, the Evolution Chamber upgrades, and also you can get spores if they are going for any kind of airplay. The airplay will hit about kind of 8 minutes, 39 minutes, so again, perfect timing there. The layer's on the way, the 2nd, 3rd gas coming down. Here comes some Stalkers and some Zealots, a forward pylon coming down here as well for YaTa, so he's going to be putting on some pressure. Now, these Zerglings are being pulled back. I don't know what they've seen. Here comes another pylon, and I mean, just having these redundancy pylons means the warp-ins will definitely come out. Warp gate tech is finished. They have been morphed in. It's only 4 gates, so it's not an all-in of 2 bases for YaTa here. There goes the warp-in of some more Zealots. That pylon is not going to go down. The Zerglings will be forced back, but here comes 9 Roaches, and basically 9 Roaches can deal with this easily. There's not enough Stalkers. YaTa would need a lot more Stalkers to deal with this, but again, this is looking pretty safe, and in we come here. The drones being moved backwards, as are the queens, and just waiting for those roaches to pop, and even more on the way. There's 12 in total in production. A robotics facility coming out for YaTa. He's got that +1 ground attack coming down. So far, no upgrades coming out for Fuzzy. And I mean, YaTa is trying to focus down this hatch, but here comes the roaches, and a lot of Zerglings streaming in as well. 1 Zeta gets taken out. Speed is done for those Zerglings, obviously, so those Stalkers are going down ASAP. And really, will YaTa be able to focus down that hatch? No, he won't, is the simple answer. There's just too many roaches there. The Zerglings are taking up too much attention. The Stalker's going to go down. All those Zealots are going down. And I mean, the losses tab, well, it says it all. Over double lost for YaTa compared to Fuzzy, which is not a great spot to be in. And that was really a bit of a failed attack. It didn't do much damage. All the drones were safely pulled, so the drone count is now 53 to 52. So behind this, YaTa, basically he forced a lot of roaches and a lot of Zerglings out, and will be able to maintain everything because of that. I mean, obviously YaTa, he was producing probes behind this, whereas Fuzzy had to cut drone production. Now, what else are we going to see? Well, these Zerglings are at the tower. They're ready for a counterattack if need be. There's quite a few sentries out there. A lot more getting morphed in, so that takes the total up to 7. We will see an Immortal pop out. Now an Observer coming out, the Robo Bay coming down. The 3rd base is not going to be out anytime soon for YaTa because, well, this Overlord, it's spreading the creep, and that takes quite a long time to actually recede. So even after it's taken down, that'll be a nightmare. There's also these Zerglings here, which will just deny, well, any kind of pushing out anytime soon. Roach is covering the 3rd base, and to be honest, it's just great spots. There's a +1 missile attack there for Fuzzy. The 2nd Evolution Chamber, he's got a macro hatch up. He's got all of... No, he's got 4 gases. Could do with taking the 5th and 6th now. He's really oversaturated there. Take a look at the work count, 71 to 59. That is exactly where you're going to be. 70 drones is perfect. Really nice spot. And Fuzzy actually taking his 4th and 5th base. So it's going to be a 5 base Zerg against a 2 base Protoss. And really, YaTa, he's putting all of his money on getting the Colossi out. He's also getting extended thermal lance, more gateways out there as well. So, I mean, this is going to be a heavy 2 base push, and if not, YaTa really needs to take a 3rd base ASAP. The downside, of course, is Fuzzy. Look at the supply difference, about 60ish supply. Obviously, that's quite huge. A lot of it isn't actually coming from, if you take a look at the work as well, not much of that. It's only 10 supply difference in workers, so the rest is army. Some Zerglings looking to try and counterattack, but still fine. And this 3rd base is just so late for YaTa. He's got to do huge damage here. That Colossi and Immortal waiting back. Here comes a big stream of roaches in. And meanwhile, we will see that YaTa will finally pick off that Overlord, but just look how slowly that creep just gradually goes back. But I mean, it did supply block Fuzzy temporarily. These rocks being taken out now. The reason Fuzzy wants to take out those rocks is because it means the more force fields will be needed to cut up his army. The 4th and 5th base of Fuzzy are down. And now, here we go, we're going to see a big push. No, we're not going to see a big push. We nearly saw a big engagement. There's going to be one. It's just when he decides to go for it. There are some roaches coming around to pick off any potential third base. And here we go. We're going to see a bit of action. A great force field there from YaTa. He's got 2 Colossi out. No more in production. Upgrade-wise, it's 1-1 against 1-0. The ground carapace level 1 is about half done for Fuzzy. And here we go. Some big engagements going on here. Great force fields, though. And this is not where Fuzzy wants to be fighting. But the sentries are at the front and the zealots are trapped behind them, so there are going to be some free kills there, but we will see some roaches come down the back as well, trying to pick off that Colossi. Will they be able to? Probably not. And again, some more money force fields coming out here from YaTa, and there's some really good force fields, and it's just making it as a cost-effective of an engagement as possible. Still, the resources lost tab completely switched. Remember early on, YaTa had lost a lot more, but now it's definitely in YaTa's favour. So he's got 1 really low HP Colossi, the other ones are fine, quite a few Stalkers, but YaTa's completely cut production of everything, and annoyingly for him, a second Overlord has come down here and has started spreading creeps, so that third base is not coming all out. So essentially, YaTa is all in here. He's going for it as best he can, but there's just so many roaches there. The roaches are now 1-1, so equal upgrades, some good force fields, but I fear there's just too much stuff here for Fuzzy. He's pulling back, he's just waiting for more reinforcements, he's got more Zerglings coming in, and YaTa trying to take this third base up here, and if he can hold that, he should be okay going in longer. And, well, Fuzzy's maxed out, but what is he maxed out on? Roach Ling. So here we go, he's hugging it all in, and I mean, that is just such good roach positioning that I think this is pretty much over now. The supply lead is huge, but those Colossi aren't going down, and they're doing huge damage, but they should get picked off. But I mean, the amount of damage they've done to all the roaches is massive, and amazingly, it looks like YaTa may actually clean this up, and even doing so with keeping 1 Colossi alive. And I mean, it was a pretty equal engagement, so it wasn't the greatest in the world, but that Colossi is still just picking off damage after damage, but it does finally fall. And I mean, Fuzzy is just putting on the pressure. He's got 30 more Zerglings in production, 5 more roaches, and there is the GG from YaTa. So I mean, essentially it was all good from Fuzzy's perspective because he denied that third base for so long, and I mean, he was on 5 bases. He wasn't mining out the 4th or 5th, but still he had everything he needed. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please subscribe, leave any comments, give the video a thumbs up, follow me on Twitter, and all that cool shenanigans. But most importantly, tune in again. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.